Alright, so the time to update the tier list is now 6 characters actually, because usually there's like 4 with an update, or maybe even 3, but you know, with the batch of collabs we got 3 at the same time. We'll look at PvE here, but most importantly PvP. A quick overview before adding any of the characters. We got the garbage tier, usable, sub-meta, and meta tier. Meta tier consists mostly of the demon team. Now we're gonna update and put king, but there's a Shin team as well. We had before, but we got Askaner just because he was a good back unit. Probably gonna put him down actually. Yeah, no one's really running Askaner in the back anymore right now. And we got goddesses, which I would still consider to be a team that you can run and win against anything else in the game, which to me, that's called being meta. So sub-meta, we got the unknowns and some odd, you know, choices for the meta teams. And, you know, we got Roxy here for humans as well. But adding on, first, easy one, King. He came out first banner of the year. And he is obviously meta. Shin's team is the best. I'm actually put DN down because she's not meta anymore. Shin's team is the best. And it's the most dominant team in the game still. Since King's release, like about a month ago. Still the best. So, King is the best for sure in terms of PvP here. I mean, he is not the best, right? His team is the best. King himself is not a particularly insane character when you look at what he does, right? He's not doing anything absurd, but he's doing what he had to do. He's protecting the team in the first turn with his shield, guaranteed, even if you go second, right? You're giving the team extra damage, extra stats for the attacks in the first turn. You're giving him extra tackle stats if they work your shield. He does just enough to make melee better, and that's you know, that's what support does. That's what support does. Now, PvE, because his passive is like a one-turn thing, or sorry, it's not a one-turn thing, it's a one-time thing. You have the shield. If the enemies break the shield, it's over. There's no more shield. So if you play in your difficult activities with King, first turn of the enemy, he's gonna break the shield. If you play some like really easy activities like farm, the shield can stay. But at that point, you're better off running the other King, so I would give him the benefit of the doubt on saying that you can run. Nah, dude. Yeah. Because of his shield, you can just put him in, and if you don't expect any cards to come from him, the damage increase is good. Nah, he's garbage. I'm being way too generous. I am in a very generous mood because I know I'm gonna have to be generous for the other characters coming up. But mainly these two. But yeah, no, Shin is not very good for PvP. Sorry, not Shin. King is not very good for PvE. Shin is garbage in PvP. That's it. No explanation. He's garbage. And for PvE, I would say I'm being generous. I am being generous. I was already, you know, already pre-made the tier list before recording, right? I'm gonna put him as a farmer, even though Green Shin, which came out in 2019, is a better farmer than he is. 2019. We're in 2024. Jesus Christ. Alright. Gloxinia. Oh boy. LR Glox. Ups and downs of this character. If you watch my videos, you probably already know. Not a big fan of this character. I think that... Oh, the passive LR. That's right here. The passive is way too undertuned, and the only reason why he got any buzz at all was because of this whale only team right here with King. Like, you can one-shot bots, especially with this team using Jelly King, but that's That's pretty much all of Glox's goodness. He's pretty garbage if you can't go first with a team that has very low CC. And that means to me that he's just... I'll put him in usable because he is usable if you have 15 plus million box CC. If you do, then you can run him with Jelly King. Where is he? He probably is also unusable. He can run him with Jelly King, right? That's usable. But if you don't have 15 million box CC, he's not usable at all. So that's LR Glox for you. The worst LR we've had so far. For PvE, he's garbage. His passive, his relic is PvP only, and his passive in PvE is pretty garbage because you're not getting attack related stats until one of the allies die. And if an ally dies on your team, you back out. Like in PvE, that's not. If your ally dies, it's over, right? You're backing out. It's just, and his car artifacts don't do anything in PvE. Attack, seal, and bleed. This card doesn't even do damage to begin with, so bleed is garbage here. Like this card having bleed is such a terrible skill. I mean, the bleed and sever, right? It does no damage whatsoever. So the bleed does no damage either. That's how bleed works. So so far the releases of this year have been half and half, right? I would say like King. We're in the PvE one. King is like in the best team in the game, but he himself is not very exciting or impressive. He's just a good partner for melee, right? But now we have a collab. Let's start with Yuri. I'll leave Zahard for last. Yuri in PvP, I really wanted to put her in meta. But after using her more, I cannot. She is very good, but not good enough. It's sad because I've had a ton of fun running the humans team with her. And where is Arthur? So I would say the humans team is a very runnable sub-meta team in the current state of the game. If you're running Bon, I was gonna say Arthur, Escanor, Yuri, and Arthur in the back, it is a very good runnable team. Like I said, runnable. It is not a meta team. You're gonna lose to good players. It is what it is. Not good enough. It lacks in the few ways that other teams don't lack. That's pretty much what it stands for. All three of the meta teams have cleanse in some way. Melee is cleansing a debuff on all allies. Every single turn, DK can full cleanse himself, Melee can full cleanse himself. You have Margaret cleanse. Humans, in this current meta, get demolished by Bond's debuffs. Yeah, you're getting incurred defense from Arthur, but Bond's debuffs make you do such low damage. Like, Escanor can be immune to debuffs at 5 ult gauge, but not every match allows you to get 5 ult gauge depending on your card RNG, right? Having used them more, this is how I feel about it. And it's hard because usually when I make the tier lists, they're about to release on global, but they're going to take a few more days. And people get their hands on them and get to like see what I'm talking about, like actually experience what I'm talking about. Like, you might watch some of the videos and be like, nah, dude, the human team looks meta. Like, you made Yuri look like this. Actually using it, you're gonna understand, you know? It's not there. It's good, but it's not there. So, that is exactly how I feel about this character. She's really good, but she's not. She wasn't meant to be the meta team of the collab. When we get collab banners especially, you can tell characters are designed to be X amount of good. Yuri was not designed to be the best character of the banner. Clearly. The one who was Zahard. And he's the worst! But what about Yuri in PvE? It's tough because I would say like her damage reduction can be decent, but I cannot for the life of me find a real applicable situation where it's like, yeah, Yuri's damage reduction and her garbage cards are gonna be actually really good in PvE. I will be very generous as well and say she has a use because in the current guild boss, in the current final boss, removing stances is meta. Obviously, the final boss was designed for her, so removing stances obviously is going to be meta. But that doesn't mean that there's not going to be final boss in the future. Like with Eris, yeah, she's garbage 99% of the time, but when there's a final boss that allows her to demolish them and make it like super quick farm. Same thing for the other kid guy from the Mushoku Tensei, for guys' name. Same thing. Like, yeah, there's like a few situations where they can be useful, so I'll keep you reading here because of the stance removal ease of use. Bomb in PvP is garbage, but he is not meant for PvP, he's meant for PvE. And in PvE, he is absolutely godlike. Unfortunately, he's only godlike for like one activity, which is fine. He is a character that, like many others from collabs in the past, where it's like in PvE, right? When it starts in PvE, that means no demonic beasts, right? And there's gonna be a new demonic beast soon, they already announced it. So it's unfortunate you're not gonna be able to use this guy in there because he's so good. His whole, I mean, his passive is good too, but his relic is what's really, really powerful. Amplifying buffs by 50% is so good. It makes the character, I've only uploaded one video on him. I'm gonna make more. So good. This character can be used on the Demon King fight, on, you know, I've only seen on full humans, but probably you don't even need to run full humans because there's nothing that says on his passive that he needs to be running full humans. You can run him on pretty much any team really, and his passive works and his relic works. So that demonic beast, that DK fight, really hard fight, you know, really annoying fight, and you have to do it so many times. He is really great for it. So it is an end game activity. So if he is a god tier unit on an end game activity, to me, he's best of the best in PvE. That's just how it works, right? So I'm putting him at the top of PvE, and great stuff. We haven't had a real like PvE character that excites me like this from these collabs since, I would say, and why is she not up here? Yeah, I forgot to move up Kizuna. DK fight, same thing. DK fight, Kizuna is phenomenal. And I mean, there's like a lot of characters that are really good for DK fights that I'm not really popping up here. But it's like Kizuna, and Kizuna is like a reason why you would win the fight. You know what I mean? Like if you have Kizuna, she's gonna protect you from one of his attacks, and obviously it's gonna make your team much better. So like these two characters are like what I would say like are gold standard free characters from Collab. One problem is Bomb is not free, or Viole, whatever. He's not free. He's a paid character masking as a free unit that we usually get. You know what I mean? He is not free, but he is on that category of collab characters. You know what I mean? I mean, as much as, you know, Kokaitis is also up here. When he came out, he was pretty sad. After the DK fight, he became quite a bit better. Again, DK fight, all three of these characters are phenomenal because they're like PvE only. We need more of those, like PvE activities that aren't the demonic beast that these characters actually work on. In any case, I'm just stalling, dude. I don't want to talk about Zahard. Biggest disappointment of the year. I cannot see another release this year being more disappointing than Zahard. Genuinely. Zahard is the saddest supposed to be meta character I've ever seen. And I say he's supposed to be a meta character because look how long his passive is. And then he has like stuff in each of these like blue tacks here. Look how, if you were to like remove the names of the blue things and just put the actual text that's in it, it's just, the passive would be insanely long, right? And he sucks. He does all of this and he sucks. There is nobody I've talked to that has used him that said he's good. Nobody. Everyone agrees he sucks. Such a shame. I looked at his passive when the stream was happening, and I was like, this is so good. Starts the battle. He gives everyone damage reduction, so you can go second. You can go second because everyone's tankier. Second turn, he's immortal, and his single target is going to do a bajillion damage. After that, his AoE one-shots the whole team. Insane, right? You think he's insane. He's not. He's not. Let's remove circumstances, right? Because the obvious elephant in the room is Meliodas with Estarossa Link. Completely demolishes his whole shtick. Let's ignore that. Let's pretend that's not a thing. Even if you want to argue that no one's going to be running melee with Estarossa Link, which is BS, by the way, but even if you want to argue that, he's still not that good. After using him so much, if you're not getting rank 3s with him, he's not doing enough damage to compensate for the fact that he's a garbage support. Here's the thing. He needs all the support in the world for his passive. You need to rank him up. Like, you need to rank him up. If you don't, he's not doing any damage. You need to rank him up. The fact that he doesn't have self-rank ups is unfortunate, because you need to rank him up. And if you need to rank him up, that means you need to use Galfer. That alone should tell you that's not good. Galfer is a 2019 character that has horrible stats and is going to die in like one melee card. Okay. Here's the also horrible thing. You may think his AoE, which is ignoring 100%, or sorry, it's getting 100% crit chance, means that if you get a rank 3 AoE, you're always going to wipe the whole team. Not true. If you do a rank 3 AoE on a Sin's team, what's likely going to happen is melee is not going to get crit at all, a single time, if maybe a few times, survive, and full AoE your whole team and wipe you. That has happened many times to me. So you need tier. You need tier. Without tier's passive lowering the crit resistance, you are not going to win. What if you face goddesses? You lose. You're not going to win if you don't have tier on your team. So his team the only team in the game that can make him work, and everyone that has played with him pretty much the same thing, is tier Galfer. Any other team that can use him sometimes can win. Like Hell tier is okay too. Tier and Galfer is the only team that can make him actually work. They are two characters that get demolished by melee. But even then, he still fumbles most of the time. It's just so sad. He's not doing enough damage, and he gets demolished so easily. The 30% damage reduction is not enough because the rest of the team is not getting demolished by melee. It's just an unfortunate character. Very unfortunate character. I will say he is usable. If you face bots non-stop all day, he's usable. There's a reason why I have faced one real player Zahard since his release. He's garbage. He is like Aaron. Yuri, I faced multiple times. She's so much better than him. And when I look at his passive, what it tells me is that he was supposed to be the, like, when they make up skill effects, he has new skill effects. Spear Shine, that's a new skill effect. 3 times Pierce plus 40% attack when using a skill. That's a new skill effect. They gave him a new skill effect. He was supposed to be godlike. And he is trash. Unfortunate. PVE. He's garbage. He's garbage. So, you can, okay. I'm being way too harsh on him because it's so garbage in PvP. I can see him being a decent farmer. Because, sad, right? Farmer. Because you can, but not really, because in the first turn he has 30%, he doesn't have this, he has 30% damage reduction. Any difficult activity, he's garbage, by the way. I don't want to hear it. He's garbage. Marcus W, alright. For one turn, he ignores enemy core resistance and crit defense. Okay, that's some single target damage. After that, he can't do single targets anymore. It's all about the AoEs. So, and AoEs are garbage in PvE unless you're farming. And then he only has AoEs for 5 turns, and then his passive ends and he has no passive. I think I'm being generous. I think I'm being very generous. I think he goes in garbage. But I'll keep him here. Alright, so that's the tier list. It started very strong. It started very strong with King at the meta, top of the line, best team in the game, the boys, and Merlin. And it finished, maybe I shouldn't have finished with Zahard. Maybe I should have finished with a good one like Bomb. Could have said how good he is. Whatever. Buff Zahard, that marble please. I really hope they buff him, but the more days go by and no word from them, the less I am hopeful. I don't think he's gonna get buffed, but I hope he does. Alright.